Well, hello there. Good to see you again. Always a joy, especially to be talking about Jesus and especially to be talking about the last days in which we find ourselves. That knowledge should help us to get into perspective the terrible things that are being unleashed on the world now, because they're affecting us very personally, aren't they? And we can get very fearful. I find talking to people that there is a lot of fear about. And I'm not just talking about people that don't know Jesus, I'm talking about Christians too, who should be supremely confident in their salvation, but even they are exhibiting signs of fear. Well, we need to remember that there is a remarkable statement in the Bible that deals with this. Perfect love casts out fear. Where do we encounter perfect love? Only in one place, Jesus. So Jesus casts out fear. And when we put our trust in him and are focusing on him, fear goes. That doesn't mean we're not concerned about what's going on. Of course we are. And we have to do our best to meet the situation in faith and to encourage the people around us, not least our families. But we ourselves are not browbeaten by the situation, because perfect love casts out fear. And perfect love is Jesus himself. And in that perfect love, he prepared his disciples for the days in which we live. Not that they would be personally affected, but in teaching them, he was teaching us, because he's speaking of these end times here in Matthew 24. And he says some very alarming things about the last days. He says this in verse 10, "At that time, many will turn away from the faith and will betray and hate each other." That's sad, isn't it? Turning away from the faith carries an implication that people were in the faith in a certain sense. It means that there are those who profess faith in Jesus Christ, and they identify with church, and they pray, and they read their Bible. But when the test really comes, the truth is shown. And then they run for their lives back into organized churches, back to the place where they think they'll be safe. But you see, that is not a safe place. The only safe place is to be in Christ. That means we have put our total faith and trust in him and are living the Jesus life, having been baptized, having been buried with Christ in baptism. We are now alive in him to live our lives to the praise of his glory. But many will turn away from the faith, and that is very tragic. But we are not going to do that, are we? We're going to maintain our trust in Jesus and our love for him all the time. May the Lord bless you then. Until we see each other again. Bye-bye.